One other comment that I would make is, as a chemical ecologist, I would say that a lot of the chemicals that we do use have their foundation in natural products chemistry, and then we've taken them and we have modified them and tried to make them better. Sometimes we make them better, sometimes we make them worse, and that's just sort of the way things go. But I think that I have to say, as a chemist, I wouldn't, originally as a chemist, I wouldn't dismiss all chemistry out of hand. So I come back to what Klaus was saying about, that there is, there are issues that we have, and we have to think about how we use this. And that part of that has to do with the leadership. So really what I wanted to do is touch on some leadership and education and say that, while the topics that you discussed throughout the semester in this particular lunchtime seminar have a variety of different things, and you can find a thread that intersects through them. But when we think about higher education, that's not always true. And a lot of what happens in higher education is in silos. And so I happen to use the farm silos, not knowing that we were going to be paired up here. But Gordon Wilson, who is an environmental scientist, he says the world has problems, universities have disciplines. And one of the things that this building represents, that all of you have been working to try to do, is to get out of those silos and to sort of work across different disciplines. And my view from the vantage point that I have now as the acting president is just how easy it is for everyone to fall back into the silo, back into particular disciplines. And now you constantly have to be putting in energy to be talking across disciplines. It takes energy. It's more helpful when you can be in a building like this, when you're proximal to each other, but it really does take energy to keep talking science to humanities, social science, social science, and then the disciplines within all of those together. So I think it's a really important thing to do. It is incumbent on universities to do this, and it certainly is complex. And when I think about, and this is just the slide that said what I really wanted to focus on a little bit today, and that is universities as leaders in the world, and then just a few comments on leading a university and what I've sort of discovered over the last several months of my time here in leadership. And if I put sort of a collage of pictures up here to just talk about how important it is in the landscape of higher education for society at large. And if you think about the numbers here, we have almost 5,000 institutions of higher education in this country, and they contribute about they spend about $500 billion annually. And we educate about 20 million students in those higher ed institutions, and there are about 1.5 million faculty.